Right. After quite a quite a fair amount of shopping and wandering around Footfall, getting to know its people, having a few adventures in shops, etc., etc., Edward puts out a call to the ship, the dramatic compensation for the crew to return to the ship. They were also shopping and having a good time. You all head back towards the ship, taking some routes, some quick, some slow, some, chatting with people, or some racing back to get to their bunk, or whatever they sleep in. Before any of you actually get on the ship, the gangplank up to the ship has a rather fierce woman standing at the top of it.
A gangplank? Wouldn't it be more like a tube we'd walk through?
Yeah, actually, because it's the atmosphere, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, like a gangplank
boarding tube.
Boarding tube. That's a better phrase.
Or docking tube. Sorry, I thought gangplank and I was thinking, we're in space.
There's a rather fierce woman standing at the top, who you all know to be the chief bosun.
Looks like a man.
It does. Mainly because it's really difficult to find female pictures in Warhammer. I'm really sorry, ladies.
Oh, are you saying that find difficult to find serious female pictures who don't look like their waifus?
Yes.
Nah, that's fair.
I have an aversion to that.
You have an aversion to waifus? Oh.
Moving on.
You wound me! Oh, Edward's never going to find his girlfriend now.
We'll discuss that a bit later. She stands at the top of the boarding tube, boarding plank, boarding whatever, and with a clipboard in hand, ticks off everyone who comes up. There's hordes and hordes of people trying to get on the ship. There are about 7,500 people who work on this ship, so it takes a bit of time. You all kind of bunch up away from, the armsmen and the crewmen and, the riffraff. When you get to the top of the boarding tube, Panda looks you up and down and says, "Sir," that was far too deep a voice for a woman.
Sir,
I'm not even going to try that one. "Sir, we're missing the chief navigator. We can't leave without him. I don't know where Hayden's gone, but he left earlier."
Edward turns his head slightly to the right side and blinks. Are you telling me we've lost another navigator?
Temporarily misplaced, sir.
It's like the third one in a year.
We only have 3, sir.
Edward blinks a bit. Alright, where was he seen?
Hayden was last seen leaving the ship. He has replied back saying that he's heading this way, but he was last seen in the docking areas. We don't know what's delaying him. In the brief pause between moments, she turns and barks to one of the crew members who's carrying quite a large crate of something. "Jeffries, put that down now!" Some poor little crew member who looks like they've just been hit by a car has stopped, like midway through lugging something. Kind of deflatedly sinks and traipses back down the board. "Sorry, sir. He should be around nearby."
Oh, I'm sure if we didn't follow this up, nothing bad could happen.
Wink, wink. Also, you can't go anywhere without a navigator.
Oh, you can fly around the system a bit.
Yeah.
So Edward kind of just shrugged his shoulders and goes,
Oh, one further thing, sir. Aravar has made it to the ship. He sent a message that he's feeling a bit unwell.
I didn't know Eldar could get sync.
Neither did I, sir.
Well, I guess I'll have to ask him about those skull drinking rituals later.
It must be the innate heresy in his bones being a Xenos. Something affecting him.
Edward holds his hands up, and he crosses his arms as he's like trying to think about the logical things, and he slowly wraps it around in sort of an X pattern as he's trying to work it out. Then stops, shakes his head, and goes, "Meh." Very well, I'll go look for the navigator then. He turns around, starts walking back down the ramp.
Is everyone else following?
Yeah, I'm following it.
Come along, Isabella. We must find my navigator.
Hayden.
Hayden.
Haddon? Hayden. So you wander back out into the docks, a rough area of footfall, where thousands, probably even millions of people come and go every day, bringing or selling goods, getting into fights, paying taxes, these kind of things. Somewhere in all of this mess, there's the shipmaster, who has to look after who turns up, who brings whatever in. After a short wander through the usual places...
Oh, Edward doesn't wander to the shipmaster, he just starts looking.
Oh, okay. He starts looking.
I use a perception test.
Go ahead.
Do I get any bonuses?
Well, the navigator is pretty obvious. I mean, he has got 3 eyes, so... yeah.
How many bonus?
I would, for hilarity's sake, say +3, but the system doesn't allow that.
It does.
You're going to get a +20. There's lots of people, but he should be pretty obvious.
Very well, I've got a 50 to try bonus on. Oh, never mind.
There's a very pretty building over there. The architecture is astounding.
Edward will be just.
Oh, and probably the navigator is somewhere. I don't know. Would anyone else like to try while Edward is indisposed?
Cool, blimey! Look at those gargoyles.
I thought you were going to say buttresses then. I was going to snigger.
Well, the buttresses are quite nice. Very round.
So, if anyone else would like to, you can make a perception test. It is your perception skill +20, and you need to get under it. Under the number, obviously.
No, I'm blind. I roll a 98. Ugh.
You are so fascinated with the comings and goings of all the people, the almost mechanical precision with which the docks are loaded and unloaded, and hordes of people travel to and from their destinations, that you barely know where you are.
So I'm going to do something special. Isabella, as I state as I'm looking at the lovely building.
Yes.
I want you to go find the navigator. God damn! Look at that mural. I'll come help in a bit. And this is very important because I've just given her a +10 because that's my special ability as the captain.
Delegation.
Yes.
Cool. Can I have that skill?
So you get a +30.
Okay, how do I roll this?
What's your perception skill rating? So go to your character sheet
Yeah.
and look for your perception.
So... would that be awareness?
It's
Awareness actually is.
in the middle of the... Oh yeah, awareness, okay. If you've got the skill... yes, you do. No, you don't. So you have to get under 20. It's a basic skill, so it means anyone can do it, but you're not really too good at it, so you can only get half the stats for it.
So, but you get a +30 from me from that.
Yeah, because navigator and delegation.
Okay, so do I just click on it?
Yeah, you click. You see where the number says roll?
Yeah.
Highlight it. It should light up. Click on it.
Okay.
Did anything
It's a
happen?
modifier.
It's come up with input value for modifier.
Put 30 in. That's your
Okay.
+30, and then click OK. You found him!
Way! Architecture's got nothing to distract you with. So while Edward and Engius are oblivious to the world, you have a quick look around. A few of the major... Sorry?
No, you first.
A few of the major loading areas, open forums, those kind of places. Big, wide open places. And you do see someone that fits the description of a navigator. He's a bit of a recluse on the ship. He hides in his tower, if not really seen. But you do notice him. He has a servitor with him, who is a person that's been heavily modified to just do one job. In this case, carry a crate 3 times its size.
Also, they're lobotomized.
The navigator and the servitor are having a blazing row with a relatively minor official.
Hold on, servitors can't talk.
Okay, the servitor is standing as his master is having a blazing row. Go.
Oh, fair enough.
Picky.
Sorry, I just... They're
You
brave.
can't really hear what's going on from here. There's a big crowd around them.
Okay, Can I drag Edward and Engius over there?
And Marcella?
Yeah, no, I'm going to assume she's going to follow.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow, yeah.
Okay.
Edward is
Um,
thoroughly distracted by this building. He's reluctant to go.
Yeah, I mean, like, physically drag them.
Opposed strength roll.
So, let's start off with the basic kind of, what do you tell him? Like, you've found the navigator, you've turned around, you've gone, okay, Edward's there, you walk to him, what do you say? Like, do you just start dragging him, or do you go, by the way, I found him?
Yeah, I'll just go, found him! Grab his arm and pull.
Okay. Pulse. Opposed strength test.
Alright. Where is that?
You see strength in the middle? Click on
Yep.
the word name saying strength, and then
Okay.
roll. You pull me.
Ooh. So you've got 1 degree of success, but this is a contested roll, so you don't really get pluses or minuses for this bit. The person with more successes wins. In this case, you march up to Edward, forcefully grab him on the arm, and yank.
Edward reluctantly
Edward,
is pulled
who is in a world of his own, is suddenly moved with great force from where he was standing. I mean, that's a very fine stained glass mural there, and suddenly, Wah!
Oh, I'm pulled along.
You're not going to react to your sudden movement?
Oh no, I heard. I was just very distracted. Like, oh, coming.
Yes, dear. Sorry, moving on.
And then, Zengius nearby.
Mhm.
Here's Zene. I'm gonna pull him along as well. Like,
Cool, go on.
Pull the tech priest.
Are you
Yes, I
going to
started
resist?
No, just keep walking.
Okay, this isn't a contested roll because, well, he's not trying to fight it. He's a much more graceful kind of, you grab the sleeve and he allows himself to be delivered to the location.
Edward is pulled by the ear.
It's almost comical. If his feet weren't touching the ground, you'd swear you were carrying him.
She's not that strong. Also, it's really
I know,
ironic because I have a strength of 50.
I know, I just like the idea of you being dragged across the floor. You're a rogue trader. You're respectable.
I'm also a kid.
Yeah, quite true, actually. Anyway, there's a very large crowd of workers or gangers or various merchants standing around this blazing argument. Now that Engius and Edward have been drawn from their distraction, they can see this.
okay.
So you're aware that this guy who's shouting at the navigator is not that high up the food chain.
And
Anything else we can overhear about the conversation?
You'd have to barge your way through the crowd. to get a bit further in. There's a lot of people just standing and watching.
Strength roll. Never mind.
Alright.
So you kind of get to the edge of the crowd, you start bumping through, and there's kind of elbows and, you know, people in the way, and it doesn't really get you that. Perhaps you could, like, persuade the crowd to move, or...
Edward
maybe
shall
shout
use a
at them?
command, but he gets a -10 because of his certain condition. Any other modifiers? There.
-10 because they're distracted, and then -20, so total of -40 because there's a lot of them. Like, even if you succeed a little bit, you can get the first few people, but to get everyone to move
I have to
out
get a
of your way,
1 to have this succeed. Nope. Everyone's like, excuse me, please may I come through? Please? Hello? Hello? God damn it, it's like living back at home.
the crowd is a bit restless. You know, you can feel something starts to come into the air. None of them pay the slightest bit of attention to you, but some really nasty words start getting hurled into the conversation in the middle. You think
Can I
the
just
crowd
like
might...
barge?
Oh, go ahead.
Can I just like try and barge through the crowd?
Strength check.
This is where a person with a strength of 36 is more successful than a person with a strength of 50. Never mind.
Nope.
There's a lot of people here.
Edward decides to use his brain, which is rare for everyone. I turn to Engius. Engius! I need you for something.
What is it, Captain?
I need to stand on your shoulders.
As I bow down for him to be able to stand on my shoulders.
I climb on his back and basically goes like, he stand up and I poke my head over the top. What do I see?
The navigator is standing relatively passively. Sorry, the head navigator, chief navigator, standing relatively passively, letting this dock manager berate him. You're not quite sure what they're talking about, but you can hear the words like mutant. The crowd around him, which is easily a good 100, 200 people, is starting to get a bit ugly. You can see harsh words, people are picking up stones. It's about to get ugly.
Edward sighs. Edward just yells out, "Nobody messes with my crew!"
Make a fellowship roll. Or if you have intimidate, use that.
I don't have either.
You should have fellowship. It's a basic thing.
I know a fellowship. Would I get my -10 because I am a blank?
Because you're attempting to socially interact with them, yes.
Right, okay. Oh, yay.
So the phrase you used was "nobody messes with my crew," right?
Yes?
Almost in a tidal wave of silence, people start to turn around. They start paying attention to you. You are standing on top of the shoulders of.
Well, I'm more
an
sitting
explorer-
on top of the shoulders of Engius.
Sorry, sitting on Engius's shoulders, bellowing to the crowd that this is your crew member.
Yes. Edward looks at them all. Well, come on then, please move. I need to get into the middle and see what's going on.
Hesitantly and with a few grumbles, people move to one side. There's now a corridor you can all travel down into the centre. The dock manager has stopped berating for the moment. He kind of looks across at the scene and wonders.
Edward, I basically tap Engius on the shoulders.
I bow down for him to get off.
Oh, you're supposed to walk forward. Edward's like, oh, he gets off and walks back forward. He walks forward and he goes, "Hello, Hayden."
Captain, I'm glad you're here.
Prince.
Sorry, Prince. Can we please leave?
Okay, sure, let's go.
The crowd closes behind you. Not because they're trying to stop you, but they're pretty interested at what the guy is saying. The dock manager starts berating again. You would use a foul mutant on your ship? Such things aren't allowed by the God Emperor. You can see he's starting to play to the crowd a bit to work them up.
Edward just turns around slowly, looks the man up and down.
He's an average man, probably a slightly portly gentleman. He's lived quite finely.
Edward looks up and Edward's eyes suddenly look at him, then look up into his head and he's thinking, and then roll slightly to the side and the other side. And he's thinking, goes, and he holds his hand and puts his finger into his palm of his hand and goes, hold on, you work with ships, right?
Of course, I work with all who come off and on of the ships.
Have you ever been on a ship?
Of course not. It's much safer here. Why would I possibly want to go there, out in the dangerous abyss?
So, hold on. To clarify one thing, my friend here, hi Hayden, by the way. My friend Hayden here.
The mutant?
My friend Hayden here, suffice to say, is a navigator. He navigates the ships. Thus, they are on board all of the ships. So thus, the people who supply your business, you then depend on the mutants to bring the ships here. So in turn, by attacking him, if you got rid of him, you would be out of a job.
He kind of straightens himself up a bit. He looks up and down at the group of you. Who are you, sir, then? Why do you defend this abomination?
Oh, I'm Edward Vinzer. Hi, rogue trader, prince of the Albyon Dynasty. Nice to meet you. Who are you?
There's almost kind of a shocked, the crowd mumbles and like gasps, almost taking a step back at the word rogue trader. The ship manager, the ship manager straightens himself out, tugs on his jacket a little bit. I'm Alba. This is my part of the docks here, and we can't have none of these mutants walking around freely, especially when they won't tell me what's in that crate.
Edward gently turns round to the crate and turns back to the dock manager. Okay, got a question.
He looks unconvinced. Go ahead.
So, yeah, here's the thing. That ship over there was here before we arrived. Have you checked with their navigator at all? Or that ship over there, or that ship over there?
Their mutant wasn't hiding things from the proper authority.
Edward just looks up and down and goes, I'm not really convinced you're telling the truth. I just think you just don't like my friend.
If people would like to, you can make a... I can't find the skill now. Scrutiny test to basically work out whether he's telling the truth or not. It's a basic skill, so it should be on the left.
I'll make a scrutiny roll even though I don't have the skill. Come on, perception, which is terrible. Oh, I almost made it.
Alright, I'll do one.
Nope.
Definitely not.
His portly figure hides the usual tics and giveaways for when someone is lying.
Edward just kind of, just shrugs his shoulders.
He starts talking again. Your mutant is attempting to smuggle artifacts onto your ship. Are you aware of the consequences for breaking Imperial law? The crowd kind of starts getting riled up at the idea that someone's trying to get round the proper authorities.
Edward's type to
There's a bit of
hold on, I got a
bit of
question.
jeering, but-
Another question. Isn't Footfall run by rogue traders?
No. Footfall is run by a collection of powerful gang members. When a rogue trader turns up, because they have like 7,000 crew, they're usually quite powerful.
It's like, okay, so let's clarify this particular thing. You're saying that you want to check my friend's box.
Exactly.
Turns to Hayden. Hayden! Why have you not shown him what's in the box? Did you know who I
Can
said?
you hear me? Oh, there you go. Sorry, my computer slowed a bit. He kind of stands tall and imperiously, Hayden, and he looks to one side. It's private navigator business, sir. The house won't allow me.
Oh, okay. House can't allow him. If you want to bring up the navigator houses, I can direct you towards where they're on footfall. I'm sure they'll be
House
very
Mercato
happy to deal
can't
with you.
allow.
What do you say?
House Mercato can't allow such things to be seen by mere quartermasters.
Oh, okay, yeah. As he says, it's house business.
As a side note, you know that the navigators have essentially groups, dynasties of people called houses. They usually are staggeringly wealthy, but incredibly private.
Edward kind of looks at this man. He goes, "Okay, I'm going to have to be very blunt here. Leave my crew alone. Leave my crew alone.
Or what?
I just look at him very menacingly.
Roll intimidate.
Okay.
You should have that because you're actually a
Yeah, I do.
roll
Hey.
intimidate.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Do you do anything
Okay.
or just glare?
I just glare. I'm just like looking at him like.
1 degree of success.
2
Okay,
actually.
I need to take the dog out. I'm sorry.
It's okay. 2 degrees of success. Am I waiting for her to come back, or am I just...
She might be a while.
You never know.
Would someone else like to make an intimidate check so that she can assist that person?
Oh, I might try, but it's gonna be very low.
You gain 2 successes. So. Okay. Collectively, the crew around you kind of puffs themselves out, looks a bit menacing. Well, you think a fair few of them could intimidate him. There's a lot of people here, though. The house won't allow it? This is footfall, my friend. If he wants to get it through, he's got to pay for it.
Okay, I've actually had enough of this, Edward says. We're leaving, and you can try and stop us.
The ship's manager, the dock manager, doesn't instantly respond to this. Hayden kind of stands imperiously, not really sure where you're going with this. If you want him to walk, then you need to kind of gesture or tell.
Edward just kind of like turns around and starts walking.
The crowd, knowing that you're a rogue trader, parts. It's almost like you rogue traders have a reputation that's a little bit mystical here. A few of them make the sign of the Aquila at your presence.
Edward gives them all the thumbs up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hayden follows along, keeping his head high, and the servitor trudges behind him, carrying a box that's 3 times his size.
Does the person do anything?
He stands amongst the crowd, obviously in a really difficult situation. He has to decide whether his pride is worth causing a problem. He huffs and he puffs. Well, you can't go through there, sir. You can't. He has to be searched.
Edward stops.
As you walk. Oh, okay.
He turns round, looks at the man.
Looks down on the man.
Is he quite short?
Medium height, but you're quite tall.
Edward walks up very close and scowls. You're messing with my crew. I am getting at my wit's end with you. And I just reach down, grab him by the throat.
Intimidate roll.
No, I actually lift him off the floor.
Intimidate roll.
Wouldn't that just be a regular strength roll?
You are trying to intimidate him. You're not trying to lift him.
Oh no, I'm not trying to intimidate him. I'm just going to lift him up and put him somewhere else.
So you're just lifting him for no purpose other than lifting him.
Oh, I'm going to try and intimidate whether or not the intimidate is success. Would I be able to just pick him up automatically?
You'd have to do a strength roll for that.
Strength roll first.
-10. He's a portly gentleman.
I succeed.
Okay.
I pick him up by the throat, and I literally just hang him from a nearby bar.
Bar, as in bar of metal, or
Just bar or
tavern?
low-hanging object with a hook on it.
It would take a fair distance to move into there. He would struggle.
No, I just take him there and hang him up then.
Okay, he starts struggling. Roll your initiative.
Roll initiative. Alright, well. 6. I'm not doing very well with initiative. No.
Got it the wrong way around. Oh, equal.
Exact same.
Okay, roll 1d10 again. Okay, you can get him a fair way, a fair distance there. The crowd parts again to let you through. He struggles and fights and thrashes out and tries to hit you.
No, I'll just let him hit me.
Okay, I'm back. Hello.
I
Sorry.
am manhandling this idiot. I'm going to let him punch me. Well, he doesn't hit anyway.
Not on that roll. He swings frantically, not really achieving anything. His face goes red and he's blustering and swearing and generally looking quite uncomfortable because you are choking him.
Since I have my hands on his throat, would that also mean he's not breathing?
Yeah.
He has to take
He
a
hasn't
toughness
run
roll.
out of air yet. Oh, okay.
Well, actually, no. No. If you're going to say he's not out of air, yet. Fair enough.
Not yet. But he's huffing and puffing quite a lot, so shortly.
Yeah, fine.
One more detail.
One more D10. 2. Okay.
So he gets one more attack before he starts having to worry about toughness. Not on that roll.
I think that's a critical fail.
Yeah. Okay, so he basically runs out of pride to keep himself fighting and kicking, and he realizes he's in a terrible situation, and you happily manhandle him to whichever post is nearby and hang him up from it. It's not particularly high, probably a foot from where he's a foot above his normal foot level. There.
Yeah, Edward hangs from him and just glares him. You don't mess with my crew. Got it?
The authorities will hear about this, sir. You will rue the day.
Yes, I will rue the day after I messed with a harbour master. Thank you very much.
He continues to shout and bluster as you walk away. Collectively, you traipse back to the ship. It's not very far, there's quite a few people, but you get there.
I talked with Hayden on the way. Hey Hayden, so, everything okay?
These These savages, sir, they don't know what they're doing. Best leave us alone.
Edward looks back over his shoulder. They weren't very just savage, they're just angry.
Angry for all the wrong reasons, sir. I've done nothing wrong.
No, that's fair.
You can see he's just a little bit worked up by what's going on.
Well, you're back with us now. Pats him on the shoulder. Probably gives him a bit of an awkward feeling.
I'll be fine, sir. Just need to get back to the spire. I need to rest and relax.
Okie dokie.
He gestures to the servitor to go ahead of him, and it speeds up. I wouldn't say sprints. It just walks quickly with this box and ducks it under the boarding tube to get onto the ship. I shall prepare for the journey, sir. Where are we heading?
Haven't had a chance to look at the map.
Ah, yes. Let's jump to that.
Meanwhile, at the star map.
Da-la-la-la-la-la.
So, I guess everyone's gathering around that. So, oh there, everybody. We get to now decide on our trip. So, whereabouts are we going to go?
So, is everyone on the map?
Yep.
Excellent. Does everyone know where Footfall is?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got the circles again, don't we? Oh no, God, please stop. I mean, sorry, God Emperor, please stop.
You are God.
So,
Oh,
you
and
are
a
at...
submarine.
Pardon?
No submarine.
You are at Footfall, not the Hermitage. So, the Cauldron, which is slightly southwest of you, is a well-known warp storm. Basically, it's a navigational hazard for your ship. If you try to travel through it, bad mojo happens. You might have demons that turn up. The ship might get torn to shreds by the travels. It's dangerous over there.
Okay.
If you want to travel to the accursed Denise, I'm probably mispronouncing that, you have to look 2 sectors to the west. It's a long journey. We're talking probably a good few weeks, maybe a month or 2 to get there. So you couldn't do it in one go with your ship, which is quite small. Whoever's doing the arrow, thank you, but please stop. So, this is the point where I give you collectively a choice. Essentially, you have 3 options. Adventure will be wherever you go, because you're adventurers. Something weird is going to happen in this sector. You can either travel north to the Winter Scales realm, which is a well-known area, and it's full of treasures and artifacts and lovely precious gems.
And is owned by the richest people in the entire Coronus Expanse.
The problem is that everyone knows it's full of riches, so everyone with any shred of ambition heads life anyone to get ahead. It's a dangerous place where people will kill you over the slightest piece of money. Or you can head south. Round the Cauldron, beyond Corpse Fortune, there's a place called the Foundling Worlds. The trip to the Foundling Worlds is incredibly dangerous. As you can see, it's between the Cauldron and
The God
whatever
Emperor's
other-
Scourge.
Yeah. It's a dangerous trip. Many people have tried and no one has ever come back from that trip. But something is there. You don't know what, though. The journey is hiding some great secret. You'll probably make a lot of money if you go there. Or finally, you can take a westward route to the accursed Denise. That route, while not as dangerous as heading to the Foundling Worlds, is still plagued with pirates and Xenos, people who will happily murder you because you've walked through their territory. There's even rumours that the area has pirates of the chaotic sort, those that have given their souls to the darkest of gods.
So wankers, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. That area is well established, but if you can carve an area out for humanity, you'd make a lot of money. So, with that information provided to you, where would you like to go?
Does anyone in here have Law Coroner's Expanse?
Let me check.
Don't think so.
I don't, but...
Nope, I don't.
Oh, one little extra thing, because you are missing specific crew members, for example, the astropath, you can have generic Bodsworth crew do a job on the ship. Pilot it, astropath it, blah, 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 something.
Like, all ships have an astropath somewhere.
Yeah. But these, because they're not player characters, they're not special NPCs, will always roll a 30.
Okay.
So, for the easier stuff, yeah, sure, fine, they'll do it. But when it starts getting difficult, you might need to encourage them.
Okay.
This is just to patch up any of the gaps we've got.
This is why we need a navigator.
I didn't hear the end of that.
This is why we needed a navigator.
You've got a navigator, you don't have an astropath.
Okay.
Anyway, decisions.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
If you want to ask any questions,
Questions first.
What about the unbeholden reaches?
it would be a difficult journey. You'd either go through the Foundling worlds, in which case you've just walked through something that's pretty valuable to something that's not really known, or I would generally class it amongst the Accursed Denies, because it's still full of Xenos, or pirates, or people trying to kill you. Obviously there are occasional human settlements in all of these places, most specifically in the Winter Scale realm.
Are the founding worlds, are those explored? Is it an explored like systems or just very unknown?
No, it's completely unknown. There are some places there, which you can see on your map, but they're more rumours than real places.
Have we heard any rumours at all?
A few of you have. Several people have ongoing quests that give some rumours.
Ooh.
They're in the journal section, just below where the character's kept, called quests.
So the third sister is the one we're currently set on. The Homeless Vipers we've let aboard. And the Bountiful Price. Slightly to one side of the boat. It's a wanted poster for Piotr Cruz, captain of the banished Talon. It mentions that they have been last seen in the Foundling Worlds in the Coronis Expanse, and they're offering a staggering 1.2 million gold reward if he is captured and handed over to the Imperial Navy for his crimes against the state.
A few people do have ongoing quests that only they can see.
Oh.
It would be quite interesting to set to make way to the accursed demeans. Carve out a
But we would have to go through the Canis Maleficarum. Maleficum.
It has Maleficum in the name. It's not going to be a nice place.
I'm up for going through the Winter Scale realms, because then we can meet people, the movers and shakers. Admittingly, they might be shooting at us, but it's better than nothing.
I think wherever we go, people will be shooting at us.
Yeah, but we can run
Good
away really,
point.
really, really fast.
The question is, will it be humans shooting at you, or will it be something else shooting at you? So, Marcella, Isabella, what do you think? Also, I do recommend you to have a look in your quests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be happy to know you haven't failed any quests yet.
That's a relief.
Do you guys have any special quests? Because I don't.
I do.
Well,
Where's my quest for the Tomb of St. Cognitus?
It's
depends
still
what-
being written. I mean, you haven't found out about it yet.
Well, Edward's still looking for it because he's a goddamn obsessive. It's his favourite bedtime story, next to the one where the Emperor slapped Horus in the dick.
I mean, I don't know my Horus history very well, but I don't remember that bit.
No, it's metaphoric that you blew him up.
Yeah, I know.
because if this rumor is true, then and how do I ping whatever? Like,
How about we change the way this is going? Like, you're all standing around the map table in the bridge. You've got this map in front of you, and you've got whatever rumors and knowledge you possess.
okay.
Well, Edward wants to go to the Winterscale realms because there's adventure that way.
But
Let's go for it. I wouldn't just go around.
it depends. Do you want diamonds?
And again, as I understand it, the Winterscale realms has a lot of politics going on it because it's a very well settled region, but there's a lot of relics in the area. The Canis Maleficarum, which we would have to travel through, is a very torn system, but it is at the very heart. So if we can carve something out there, we can do a lot of good. While the Foundling worlds themselves are a very sheltered and also very lush series of worlds, apparently. They're very inhabitable. But they do have a
Sorry,
hellish way of getting to them.
What was that, Isabel, about diamonds?
Because
What was that about,
There-
diamonds?
there is a
Says a
rumor.
random crew member.
There is a rumor that near Damaris there is asteroids that are almost completely made of diamonds.
But we don't have any asteroid mining stuff.
Maybe we should get some.
We can't fit it on the ship, literally.
Maybe we should figure out how to.
It literally takes up 10 space. That's half the space on this ship. We would have to get rid of the guns, the life support, and everything. Believe me, I tried.
Mind you, just turning up with a pickaxe would probably gain you a fortune.
Mm,
Yeah, but diamonds. Dear
You've got
Lord.
horse space.
because
Diamonds are really common in space. I mean, I suppose we could tow one into the cargo holds.
it depends. Because it is, you can. I'm pretty sure cut chunks of diamonds.
But I want a giant freaking diamond.
What? That's the size of the freaking.
Yeah, we'll put it on the front of the ship, a hood ornament.
I mean, that would get us through a lot of stuff.
Okay, this is piquing my interest. Giant diamonds.
Mine too.
Hmm. Edward likes his adventure. And would like his
Maybe.
politics. It also seems there's a suspicious lot going on down in the Foundling worlds.
Yeah.
Looking at you, GM.
GM is neutral. Please proceed.
I'm just going for the Foundling World just because it's so unexplored.
Yeah, and I like the
That's
wind.
true.
Yeah, so there's. So we're either going to be doing. Let's say so. Winterscale Realms is basically politicking and Indiana Jones style adventure. Canis Maleficarum is the Pirates of the Caribbean. You have pirates and monsters and weird voodoo junk. And the Foundling Worlds is basically Star Trek, but with monsters. Going boldly where no man has gone before.
For diamonds.
For diamonds.
As far as we know.
A system near Damrus, right?
So, because, Corewoods of Demarus, a series of asteroids that are controlled by the Mechanicus?
Mechanicus.
Yeah.
Oh, Mechanicus. Oh, God, I don't want to have to deal with them. As Engius is standing nearby.
I mean, we don't have to.
The Mechanicus are the titans of industry. They build, repair, and fix everything.
They're the
Also
tech
pretty
priests
useless.
of Mars. Literally, they worship technology.
Fun.
If you give them a toaster, they get a boner.
NGS is one of them.
Well, I know what I'm getting NGS for his birthday.
A toaster.
Mm.
Yes.
What one of those?
I mean, it's cheap enough.
Oh, that spring action toaster. Oh,
I
Sorry.
wonder what would happen
Yes,
if I
sounds
got
good.
you a kettle.
Suffice to say, I suppose we can go look into the diamonds.
I mean, we don't have to. It's just putting it out there.
I kind of want a giant diamond on the hood of my ship.
We need
perhaps
to
there are
mine it
other
first,
options
though.
that people might know about.
Has anyone else looked at their quest log yet?
I have.
Because I've got the Bountiful Bliss, the Homeless Vipers, and the Third Sister. That's all I've got in mind.
Yeah, well, I have to go to like Foulstone right here.
What's on your one?
Somewhere. To go to a certain world called MHF Alpha 15, also known as Betram's Error by locals.
Is
It's
this a
somewhere
world
in
with-
between Foulstone and Footfall.
Oh, it's between Foulstone and Football. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's close enough, anyway. What's going on down there?
They found something.
What? Is that it? Just found something?
They accidentally uncovered an artifact of unusual heritage while building their new sewer system.
Heretek.
Giant diamonds or lost technology?
So we could go to like the planet and then go up to diamonds.
To be fair, it's only halfway between the two. It's like here, probably.
Diamonds are down.
I know, the diamonds are very down here. And Engius's thing is this way. So, ladies and gents, we've got a choice. Do we want to go chasing after diamonds? Or do we want to go chasing after lost technology? And bear in mind, lost technology itself is incredibly valuable. I do have my opinion, but I don't want to voice it. I want to hear what everyone else thinks.
What is your opinion?
He's made it pretty clear.
I want to go
Diamonds.
north to fucking duke it out in Indiana Jones style.
I mean, you are the captain.
And as captain, I want your opinion. This is Edward. I'm not even joking. This is Edward's character. He will ask his crew opinion. I'm not a dictator, although I'm technically a prince, so technically I am, but I'm not that kind of dictator. Emphasis on the tater, not the dick.
While you're pondering over this map table and the vast possibilities, one of the doors opens to the bridge, and the usual light that should come through it doesn't. Some giant has blocked all of the light in the door. It's
Hello,
Little
little
Bear.
bear.
Sir, sir, um, I have another possibility.
Oh, what is it? Also, you owe me an arm wrestling competition.
Duly noted. If we could find the chalk spires, sir, perhaps I could. Well, my tribe wants to meet it to find it.
What are the chalk spires?
Well, sir, Grey Eye had visions about the chalk spires, giant towers of, well, chalk on the planet. They hold some significance to our clan, so
On what planet?
he wasn't too clear, sir.
So you want us to find something in a nondescript location which is made of chalk, which is one of the most plentiful things in the galaxy.
We think it's in, well, the other side of the cauldron, sir.
So
The
here.
vision spirals around it.
What do you guys think? Who wants to go chasing after chalk?
I mean, it's not diamonds, but I'm giving you guys choices.
Come on, we can get into the education
Yeah.
business.
Mass production education.
Mass
How
production.
about
of
we
chalk.
make a table with every destination on it and roll for it?
Cool, you gotta love the toaster folk, don't you?
Okay, so first up, let's do it 1d5. So number 1, we'll be going to just north to the Winter Scale Realms where there's literally nothing special, but we could run into something cool. Number 2 is Engius's thing, which is halfway between Foulstone and Footfall. Number 3 is these chalk spires. Number 4 are these diamonds. Number 4 is, and what should number 5 be? Number 5 is chasing after that pirate.
Which is here, right? In the
Yeah.
Alright, number 5 is the Canis Maleficarum. Okay. Slash roll 1d5. Hey! Okay, we're chasing.
it's gonna be pirates.
We're going after the Canis Maleficarum, who is down. Are we going after the pirate in the Canis Maleficarum or the pirate who's down in the Foundling Worlds? One D2. One is the Canis Maleficarum, 2 is the pirate in the Foundling Worlds. Canis
Foundling
Maleficarum! I mean, we can't stop off an Engius thing on the way because it's in the way.
Yay.
Shall we stop off an Engius's thing in the way and then go on from there?
Yep.
Okay, we're going to Engius's thing. Hit the Viper Drive! Because that's actually what it's called.
Sadly.
Hopefully this doesn't go wrong.
So,
So as we power up our ancient aged engines,
undocking from the station takes a bit of time. You've got everyone there. But as your giant creaking ship leaves the asteroid
it's
field,
smaller than everyone else's ship.
you move a safe distance away from Footfall, and with one final parting glance, Edward's finger hovers over the big red button.
This isn't the warp engine, by the way. We're just moving really fast.
Oh no, this takes time. You can't just normal. Like, each square is like a week travel.
Oh, no. I'm not going into the warp. You know the Viper Drive and the warp engine are different things.
Yeah, but if you do Viper Drive, we'll be here several centuries. It's a long distance.
Yeah, but Edward wants to test out his engine before we have to get to the edge of the system before we use it.
Okay? So you power up the Viper Drive with a little bit of a chuckle because of the name.
Viper Drive!
The whole ship shakes.
Engius,
Um,
divert power to the Viper Drive!
Diverting power.
That's a free action, don't worry.
There's the ship.
Diverted power.
You don't actually have to do a tech roll, I'm afraid.
Doesn't matter.
Oh well, so you divert power.
You did it. It worked.
So in
Wonderful.
total, we're now going at a speed of. It's the 10, so that's an extra 3, so that's 17. We're going at a speed of 17.
The engines shudder across the entire ship. The entire spine of the Viper jumps with anticipation. And as a sudden click, as the Viper drive is activated, you burst forward at a blistering speed. You are briefly knocked back because of the sudden change.
Whee!
The ship, the ship powers away from footfall, travelling at a not insignificant speed. The ship's holding quite safely, travelling along. You know, it settles into its jam.
Yeah, woohoo!
An air of excitement crosses the crew.
Yes, and I'm guessing like our tail has turned a bright red or bright blue.
You're not looking that way.
Okay, fine.
You're
Yeah.
looking forward. I don't know what you're.
Also, to get to the edge of the system, we get to actually reduce the time because we are skittish.
Mm.
Let me look up those rules actually. So, Rogue Trader.
And you're more likely to find things in the wall.
Yes, we are. But we've also got a very better Geller field, so screw things we
Yeah.
find in the warp. Navigate. So, sorry.
So, even though most of you don't have a position on the ship, you're still standing on the bridge with almost excitement, travelling into a whole new, unexplored expanse. All sorts of things you could do.
How many days would you say it would take us to reach the edge of the system?
I'd say about a day to reach the edge.
Yeah.
You're going quite quickly.
Okay, we don't really reduce it much. So we take a couple of hours, I guess. Hold on. Actually, that's a 5, so actually reduce it by 5 weeks, technically. We get there in a couple of hours, I guess. Like an hour or 2.
So, what I was going to say now is perhaps we should finish here for today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We've had quite a long session, so yeah. I hope everyone enjoyed it. You're
Yeah,
on
it was
a bold
good, yeah.
new adventure.
I'm good.
Right. My plan is to stay on for a little bit. I may have to do some tweaking. I'm here to chat and I can answer questions.
Yeah, you do know we're doing end users thing, though.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes.
So, thank you very much for joining in. If anyone wants to write or talk to me about personal plot, then I'll happily stay here and chat.
Also, don't forget we can RP in the IC chat.
One extra thing, I realise this is a bit of an annoyance, but I'm not here next weekend. I'm busy camping in a field. So, either we can do it at some point during the week, either before or after, or we can just wait for a fortnight.
I'm good doing either. Depends on what you guys want to do. I don't want to push stuff on you.
I mean, if we only have to wait 2 weeks, I might need to sort of reteach myself how to do the roles, but apart from that, I'm fine.
Because
So-
I've got next weekend, all of the week, I'm probably going to be doing work for university.
Okay, that's probably good. Then we just skip them.
So we're skipping next weekend.
Yeah, sure.
Is everyone okay with that?
Yep.
Excellent. I'm really sorry about this. I didn't realise it was going to butt into this one.
No, it's fine.
It's okay.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Hooray!
Yay!
I just really want to blare out Highway to Hell now, just to see what's going to happen.
Actually,
Okay.
I have a perfect song for this. Actually, let me see if I can track it down. Actually, I will just turn off so YouTube doesn't demonetize me.